Hello, this is Austin from the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast, and you're listening to the BS Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Lee. And I hope you're liking it as much as I am. I'm just rolling on the ground with laughter. This is so much fun. Are you enjoying it like I am? That's good. That's good. Anyway, here's looking at you. Here's treats. Don't punch that button. I'm not through talking.
Jumbo, everyone. Harambe. And welcome to another edition of
the Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Oh my God, I just love Ed Asner. Oh God, he's so awesome.
Carl Fredrickson is the best, man.
I can't believe he did that for us, and it's just so perfect.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, Ed Asner, thank you so much.
Thank you, Grady Goodness.
Well, look, guys, Asante Sana, everyone. You are listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States of America. In case you're listening to us from India or wherever,
Ghana,
part of the world, Ghana, anything.
All
on
the
that Ghana app as the biggest podcasting platform in India. Look, we are artistic buffs, and we're talking about Disney stuff. And this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For today, we present the 5 Senses of Walt Disney World, brought to you by our own longtime weekend listener X, or now known as Professor X Keith. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
And on this show, we follow the Disney concept of edutainment, where we focus on your entertainment, and along the way, you just might learn a thing or two.
Hey.
And as always, to join in the discussion, we have our resident comic genius from ivorycomics.com, Mr. Eli Ivory. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. It's a lovely day to feel truly magical and whatnot. How you guys doing?
It is a magical day, isn't it?
Yeah, I can feel it in my bones.
That's right. You can feel it, taste it, see it, hear it. All those senses.
All the senses.
All the senses.
Gotta touch it.
And the guy that is in touch with all of his senses is our resident travel agent from Magical Moments Vacations, the Shaggy TA, Lee Lastavica. Hey, Lee.
Yes, all the senses, but mostly taste.
Oh.
All the senses, but no massage. It's a good point.
Could you please elaborate on that? But speak slowly.
I think Eli said it best.
Oh, he did. He did. But look, guys, as I mentioned, man, we have a great show for you today. We're talking about the way Walt Disney World and even Disneyland. We spoke about some of the attractions of Disneyland, and I'm not going to say some because all of it. It's both parks, maybe all the parks.
Our essential experience.
It's the Disney experience.
The Disney Park experience. Disney Parks is branded.
Parks.
Disney Parks experience around the world. How they affect all 5 senses. And yes, we talk about Walt Disney World and Disneyland, but Lord knows the same thing they employ in Tokyo Disneyland, in Euro Disneyland,
Disneyland Paris.
Disneyland Paris, I'm sorry, Shanghai Disneyland, Hong Kong. All the same techniques apply to all those different parks. And we're about to explore with you, even though we're talking about this microcosm, we're talking about all the Disney parks.
How Disney engages your senses to fully immerse you into the experience you're having.
Exactly.
All five.
And what a more perfect person to come on the show and talk about this is our very own. He used to be known as Listener X, but no, you're more than just listening. You're learning now. This is Professor X. Keith Schneider. He's coming on the show, and it's going to be a great experience.
He was Keith.
And
yes. Then he again converted to Islam and became
Professor X. Yes.
Professor X.
He gave up his name.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, Mohicans, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to learn some awesome sensual stuff.
Yeah.
Touch it. 5 sensual stuff.
See it.
With Professor X. Enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go get some senses.
Let's go get sensual.
Let's go feel it. Let's go hear it. Let's go taste it. Let's get all up in it.
All in it.
And here we are on the hub, and this is the main topic segment of our show. And as I stated at the beginning, we are talking about the 5 senses of Walt Disney World.
All 5?
All 5, all 5, I think.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
1, 2, 5. That's right.
All right.
So I'm going to turn over the classroom to Professor X. Professor X, we are your students for today. Educate us.
Well, thank you guys for coming back to class. But first off, I wanted to give you guys a pop quiz.
Oh, no, pop quiz.
I got to go to the bathroom.
I'm out.
No hall pass, Danny.
Damn.
I don't do well with these things.
So I wanted to make sure you guys were paying attention in our last class. So I wanted to talk about how Disney influences your senses without you guys even knowing it when you're inside the Disney parks.
Oh, good.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I want to do a little exercise with you, a little pop quiz. So first of all, I need for you guys to kind of close your eyes.
Okay. Closing my eyes.
Okay.
My eyes are closed.
So let's pretend you guys are first time in the parks and specifically in the Magic Kingdom.
I'm still imaging it. Hold up.
Okay.
I'm trying to put myself
That's
in.
right.
In the mode,
bench press
you know.
the image. Bench press the image.
Absolutely.
Can we play some music where I feel like I'm walking through the
Oh,
park?
can we have the?
I need to mentally place myself there.
Yeah.
All right.
I just bought my ticket and took a picture.
There you go.
go.
All right. And I wanted to pretend that you're not at Disney World for, you guys are not experts or veterans at Disney World, that you're basically at Disney World for the first time.
Okay.
Yes.
And let's pretend specifically that you are in the Magic Kingdom and that you are on Main Street, USA.
Right there, man.
Yes, I feel it. Do we know what time of year this is? Or
Could be whatever you want.
Okay. Nighttime.
All right, so starting to get the, visualization.
Yeah, I'm visualizing. People are bumping into me.
It's summertime.
It almost sounds like I'm trying to hypnotize you guys, but I'm not. So,
Yeah.
put the lights down low and, you're starting to feel sleepy. No.
And sexy.
Hey,
I'd suggest opening your eyes in a hurry, Eli.
what is that touching me?
Stop. No touching. Teacher Kevin's touching.
No questions. No questions.
Sensory
Professor,
deprivation.
All right, do I need to change seats with you guys? All right, Kevin, you get up, Kevin. You sit up in the front.
All
Get
right.
away from Eli, and you
Changing.
sit in the front and keep your hands to yourself.
Teacher, Kevin is smelling Eli's seat.
Yeah.
It is so warm in this lovely
It is.
little aura that I just, it's like a comforter. I don't know.
I know you like it, Kevin, but you got to get away from it, but leave the oil right here.
No, it just, I'm enveloped in. I'm like so surrounded like Main Street USA right now.
I'm all up in the
But it's not
sight.
Main Street, it's Eli.
Yeah, get all up in this sight and sound.
Wait, I'm failing the quiz.
Yeah, when can we open our eyes? This is getting uncomfortable.
I got
here.
to refocus.
All right, open your eyes, everybody. So you're on Main Street, USA. Tell me the senses that you're seeing, feeling, smelling, whatever.
I just smell that dude that passed me. Good God.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I smell B.O. Jeez. Just gotta
I
smash
didn't
it.
shower this morning, but
The hands reach up and like grab my nostril hairs. It's just so painful.
You just look so happy.
I smell
couldn't
my
help
own
it.
breath from the face mask.
Oh, yes.
All right, go back to your visualization. This is post COVID now, Danny.
Oh, post-COVID.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're not wearing a mask.
Popcorn. I smell popcorn.
Okay.
I smell cookies.
Cookies. Coffee.
Coffee.
Bread or bread.
I'm hearing the song from Up playing in the background.
I'm hearing the clip clop noises of the horse.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Oh, let's smell the horse.
I see balloons.
Yes.
I see dead people.
Oh,
That's your sixth sense.
that's your sixth sense.
Oh, my bad. Staying within the
Yeah.
five. My
Stay,
bad. Sorry.
but don't go to the light. Don't go to the light.
No.
That sense will be for another time, Danny.
Yeah.
Maybe a Halloween episode.
Maybe when we're making pottery together.
Yes.
Oh, my darling.
Ooh.
I haven't heard from you, Lee. Do you have any senses or
Yeah, I smelled the horse. I smelled, the Brazilian tour group.
Lee? I know you're not raising your hand, but I'm calling on you.
That's all right there, Mr. Professor X. Lee's got a note.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Carter.
Ooh.
What?
Professor X,
Ooh,
sorry
what?
Lee could not be in class. Signed, Danny's mom.
Whoa.
Let's talk about one of the senses that you guys mentioned is the smell of popcorn and the smell of cookies and coffee specifically. So let's talk about the sense of smell first. So Disney uses what's called smellizers. So they'll pump specific smells from the bakery.
Keith, I think it's smell it.
Smeltzer, yeah.
Smeltzer? All right. So Disney has specific smellzers.
Smellitzers.
Okay.
It's a German word.
Whatever you want to call it. Disney got those too.
All the smells.
Yeah, so they basically pump smells specifically from the Main Street Bakery and, other areas to have that smell of delicious foods that you guys are smelling to go down onto Main Street USA to have you walk into the bakery and buy some cookies.
Oh, wow.
So you also, when you first walk into the park, you sometimes smell popcorn. I mean, popcorn has definitely a very distinct smell. So that once again, that wants you to go in and buy some popcorn even at 8 o'clock in the morning. So Disney has a lot of these smells. They also have it coming out of restaurants and kind of World Showcase. So it's purposely done at Disney World, and it's probably only one of the few places where it's done artificially that I can think of. Can't think of anywhere else where you would smell an artificial smell and make you want to buy a food. I mean, a lot of times a bakery's pushing out a real bakery smell. Like if you're walking down Bourbon Street in New Orleans, well, you're probably getting different smells then, but
yeah, there's nothing like the smell of piss to make you want to buy a drink.
But, if you're walking down New Orleans, you're probably smelling restaurant cooking or whatever, but that's, that's legitimate smells. But Disney's the only one that puts out these artificial smells.
I usually smell the stripper's desperation when I'm downtown. That's it.
Reverse that. I think they smell your desperation.
He can sniff that out a mile away.
It smells like the bum's piss by desperation.
Isn't that your cologne, desperation?
Desperation now, to be exact.
Yeah, I can't think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's other people who have done it, but
just other locations that just
that have piped in smells that really kind of make you desire something. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, yes, they would prefer you to walk in there and grab a cookie or grab a coffee or whatever. But I don't know. Sometimes good food just makes you happy, just the smell of it. Like I smell popcorn, but I don't need to buy popcorn.
Yeah, it just puts you in a good mood.
It just puts you in a good mood.
I definitely think about it though. At 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but popcorn attaches you to you say fairs and I know we're talking about Disney, but overall amusement parks, that's kind of like the theme you get that popcorn is usually affiliated with, if not movies.
Movies in general, right? Mm-hmm. Just movies in general. And what do you associate with movies but popcorn? And what are we here to do? We're this whole company is built off of movies, cartoons, things like that. So yeah, I mean that makes sense, right? That's a number one smell would be popcorn.
Yeah, keep it fictional.
Well, I mean a lot of their attractions. Shoot, there's a part in Figment where it's built around Figment farting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a part
the
in
skunk smell, right?
Right. The same thing in It's Tough to Be a Bug. You get smells in a lot of the different Disney attractions, and it really helps enhance the experience. If that didn't work, if that smell didn't come out of there, and it wasn't that, and they do it perfectly where it's unpleasant, but it doesn't linger. It's boom, it hits you and it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of that immersive experience that, Disney's so great at doing.
What is y'all's favorite smell? Like in a Disney attraction, in the Disney parks, what's your favorite one?
In a Disney attraction or?
If we go into attraction, yeah. Let's try with attractions first.
Okay.
What would be your favorite?
My favorite would be that evergreen smell in Soarin'.
That's a great
I usually love the orange smell, but for some reason when we get to the evergreen smell.
It's so crisp.
It is.
And you're on the mountains with the trees. Yes.
That's it, crisp. That's the perfect word for it. Because there's that, and then I think the second place one for me would be the ocean. It's very close.
Yes.
I love whenever I smell the ocean, those two smells make me really happy. And just I think calm. Just calm and relaxing. Makes me think of vacation and all
serene.
Kind of yes, serene.
At peace. Woosah.
It does do that for you. Smells can go a long way. Like when we pass by the Rome burning scene, that's my favorite in the attraction. Like I always like the smell of leaves burning, and it's not quite the same thing, but it's just such a cool, unexpected thing for a dark ride, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It smells so cool there.
Right. Like every other smell in the attraction, it just kind of makes sense. Like they even almost build around the smell. But that's just something subtle that just happens there in a little dark ride. You're not even aware of it. It's like, oh, wow. And it hits you. So that's probably my favorite use of a smell in an attraction that I can think of.
That's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Well, it's not around anymore, though, but the smell of jasmine always cheers me up.
The smell of jasmine.
That's right. Yeah.
Philharmagic.
Philharmagic. Yeah, they used to spray jasmine when she would fly by
you.
Well, the pastry smell or the when they're doing the number.
Be your guest.
Right.
Be our guest.
Mm-hmm. That's a great one.
Outside of that, though, a turkey leg smell, like...
That's a distinctive smell.
That's a
fair. That's fair.
Because no matter where I go, I know because it's got the smokehouse kind of...
Yeah,
that's one of those
smoky.
smells you can kind of taste, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you, it's almost like I know, like I haven't tasted that yet, but I'm 90% sure I know what that tastes like just because the smell is so... Like, Casey's like that. That's my favorite food place smell.
Kind of makes your mouth
Casey's.
water, right?
Yeah, you just know what to expect.
Awesome.
From smelling that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like Scooby Doo when I'm around a turkey leg smell. Like I know it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you want to ride? What was it? What was the credit coaster? You want to ride a credit coaster again? Run. What if we give you a turkey leg? 2 turkey legs.
Okay, Scrappy. Lee, what do you think, Lee?
Yeah, Lee.
It's not like it's a very pleasant smell, but there is something about pirates when you just get in there and you get up to the queue and you're about to get in the boat and maybe it's the smell of the water, but it's not necessarily like, oh, that's just such a beautiful smell, but like it smells like nostalgia.
Yes.
That's the mood, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Polynesian lobby. That's what that used to be like when you used to walk in there and you would get that mildewy smell, which was kind of unpleasant but so welcoming at the same time that you miss it when they got rid of it. So yeah, no, I totally get that. I love that. I love that. I love the smell of Haunted Mansion as well. All these rides have a very distinctive smell, even when they're not trying to accomplish it. It's just the things that they're using.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keith. Oh, Professor.
Mine is probably the orange smell, basically on Soaring.
Yeah.
That is a nice smell.
Wonderful smell.
It's like cleanliness.
Yeah, I mean, it just puts you kind of in a good mood and, makes you happy. I mean, it's interesting that there's whole, businesses out there where they try to, through candles or whatever, they try to recreate those Disney smells.
Absolutely. So obviously this is a thing. Yes, it's nothing we're making up. I mean, it really is special because you want to grab as much of the park as you can and take home with you. And I mean, you're trying to entertain your senses at home. And the fact that there are people out there who figure out a way to bring smell home to you, that speaks
a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does speak a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the more popular ones is the smell of the Grand Floridian lobby. And there's just, again, there's just like it's interesting that, so you're not smelling the furniture, you're not smelling or else all the lobbies would smell the same, right? But it's that particular, it's the restaurants that are in there, it's this food court, it's the smells from all that mingling in there, and I'm sure they're pumping in, or maybe it's
kind of vanilla or citrus or whatever.
Yeah, and all the cleaning products that they use, it's all coming together and forming a certain smell that is the Grand Floridian.
Especially when they have the gingerbread house in there.
Oh, yeah.
The real killer is Epcot Food and Wine. I mean,
that's World Showcasing in itself.
Yeah, exactly.
So many smells.
Hit Germany, you messed up.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm going to give that one a taste. I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we're jumping ahead a little bit with that.
No, you're right.
You caught up. Yeah.
Actually, I have another one. It's a very kind of odd one, and you guys will probably not even notice it or whatever. So, and it's one of my Thanksgiving history kind of things. It's kind of real interesting. So everybody, when it used to go on Maelstrom and get off the ride, you know how you kind of walk through the different gift shops and you got that big troll there?
Yes.
So the store I think it's still there, that's next to the troll store is a perfume store.
Oh, God, yeah, the Spirit, Norway, yes.
Right, so they have a distinct perfume. I think it's called Layla, Laila.
That's exactly what it is, because my sister makes me pick it up every time.
Damn.
Yep. And I'm not a big cologne or perfume guy, but actually I almost bought that because I just love that smell. And the whole Thanksgiving tie to it is every single time I'm there, the guy that invented that perfume
is
always there.
Yes! I had a bag autographed by him for my sister. That was her Christmas present. And yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, this very Norwegian guy. Yeah,
I know. And I thought I did something special for him. Like, look, here you go. And the guy autographed. Yeah, I get 2 of these.
Wow.
So he's apparently there all the time.
All right. I thought it was just Thanksgiving, but that smell to me kind of reminds me, hey, I'm in Norway. It's just weird.
No, you know what? It is. I'm joking, but no, that's exactly when we got it. Hers autograph was during Thanksgiving. That's when we were there when that happened. That's when we went to the neighbor. You remember you were invited, but you had to work?
Yeah, yes, I remember. And you're welcome.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, smell. Smell is very interesting, and we're going to get into some other of the senses in a second. But smell is one of those senses where you could smell something, and it'll take you right back to a certain location or certain experience that you had in Disney World.
Absolutely.
So, all right, so let's go back to our exercise. Close your eyes again.
Oh boy,
Kevin, get
You're
away
on
from
Main
me.
Street again. Besides smell, what else do you smell, hear, whatever, see, whatever?
We're doing smells again?
No. Besides smell, we're on Main Street.
We're on Main Street.
What else do you sense? I hear the song from.
Well, what about the music on Main Street?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
That's like music that is very indicative of a certain time frame.
Yeah, to Lee's point, it's time frame from, that kind of that Main Street era. And, Disney definitely is the king of sound, I guess if you want to call it, where they have different sounds pretty much in not only different lands, like you'll walk in Adventureland, you'll hear that drum sound, kind of jungle sounds.
The tiki drums, yeah.
Yep. Or you'll be in Frontierland, you'll have that banjo sound, kind of that twanging kind of sound. So they not only have sounds in specific lands, but they have sounds in just like a 10-foot area of the park, and it's almost a sound cue going from one location to another. Kind of a good example is that, so if you're in Discovery Island in the Animal Kingdom, and you're heading towards Pandora, you'll first hear kind of that normal Animal Kingdom kind of background kind of music, and as you cross the bridge going into Pandora, the music will subtly change, and you'll start hearing kind of like crickets and kind of these weird kind of animal Pandora kind of sounds setting you up that you're going to this futuristic world. And obviously once you get into Pandora, you then hear the sound changes again, but it's only about that 20-foot span when you're on that bridge that you'll get these visual cues.
That's so
interesting. Then you also smell the pan dulce. So that's
the
better.
pan dulce.
What's a pan dulce?
I don't know.
Is that big flower plant thing?
Pan dulce. It's Mexican bread.
Oh,
It's Mexican bread.
Is it sweet?
I'm thinking sopapillas.
Yeah, like sweet bread. It's like a sweet bread.
Oh, sweet bread.
It's any kind of bakery goods. It's like the general title is pan dulce. Pan dulce.
Pan dulce.
If you go with Pandora, it goes right with Pandora.
Okay.
Yeah, like Thundera. Gotcha.
Like Panera, but Pandori.
So, sound is one of those where it's basically there, but you don't even realize it when you're there.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. It's happening subliminally. Like, you don't really notice it.
It's in the background.
You're right. Until you kind of settle yourself into a land, because you're walking, you're talking, you're taking everything in, and this is all happening. And because it's not necessarily, unless you're a real Disney fan, it's not necessarily familiar music. But yeah, it's happening subliminally, man. You barely notice it as it happens as you transition, because you're walking, talking in the park. So when you get a chance to settle in, because the music's not necessarily familiar, you're able to let it kind of just happen in your brain till you really can kind of pay attention, because it's not necessarily something that you know. And something that you know sticks out. Like if something you knew was playing, it would jump out in your brain. But because it's something that you don't know, it's just little sounds, little beats, tribal drums, that kind of thing. It works beautifully, the way that they go ahead and get your mind subtly transformed. Way to manipulate the senses.
And yeah, it's not like they're shouting out to you from some attraction or some ride trying to give you sound to get you to come into it. Now, you just, as you travel into, for example, Galaxy's Edge, you don't hear like Star Wars music blaring, like, hey, come check out Galaxy's Edge. Dun, 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 dun. You just walk through, and little by little, you start to hear these space age and Star Wars-ish sounds. And it could be music, and it could be little droid beeps and all this different stuff. But there's this transition between land A and land B that you don't notice until you're fully immersed. And once you're immersed, then you hear it full blast. They're so good at that transition that you don't hear it and even notice it until you're fully in it.
Even moving beyond like the background ambient noises, I mean, the use of it in attractions, in parades, the way, could you possibly imagine riding Star Tours and not having the Star Wars soundtrack playing behind you?
Oh yeah,
as you're swooping in and out of the Death Star, or
it's like Winnie the Pooh, right? You got the Winnie the Pooh theme and all through the track. It's pretty awesome.
It just puts you in the mood, and you you feel like you're there, even though what you're really taking in, very little of it is the sound. It's mostly the sights and the impressions that you're getting, and trying to follow along with what's happening, and noticing different things that you've never seen before. But that sound, without that, it's like it's not the same. It's a quiet little ride. It doesn't do as much.
Well, yeah, but look, real perfect example is a Haunted Mansion, right? I mean, if you don't have the sound of the narrator guiding you through the whole thing, I mean, that ride is not the same. That attraction pretty much dictates that you have to listen.
Well, not only that, I mean, that's a great point because, I mean, the sound that they use in Haunted Mansion, it's the same song, but at the beginning, it's like a funeral dirge, and then it kind of becomes a little, slowly as you go throughout the attraction, they tweak. It's the exact same song, but the sound's kind of tweaked, and now it's uppy. Now it's like a more of a jazzy number at the very, but that's what it is when by the time you get off the ride, it's become full-blown jazzy number. It's a ballroom waltz at one point in time when you're watching the Ghost in there. But it's the exact same song, and it's the way they manipulate sound. You don't even realize it. So, yeah, same thing with parades. Imagine watching, and I know it's not there anymore, but like Illuminations, when it gets to that culmination and the fireworks just explode, it causes a feeling in you. Yeah, it chokes you up a little bit. They just know how to synchronize sound with what's happening to where it just brings out the maximum
experience.
That's exactly it. I mean, it brings out all the emotions.
Tell you what, the sound used to almost bring me to tears is that freaking Spectrum Magic soundtrack. I don't know why. It's just every time I hear that sound, that music, it just makes me so happy.
Well, yeah, I can see that. I mean, same thing with the electrical water pageant. Like, if we were just sitting there eating our dinner at Narcoossee's and a little water pageant just floated along, and it was like, oh, look at the little blinking lights over there. But it's the sound like, like where they do it all that. Like, you're running out there like, oh my God, I got to see this. It's like they're announcing something's about to happen. And
a very retro sound. And
right.
It hits you and he's like, oh, it's a water pageant.
And then when it switches over to the flags, the patriotic scenes, it's like, you're a grand, and that whole thing. Again, without the sound, it's just flashy, blinky. It's a Christmas house.
It's a Christmas house,
exactly.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
I mean, Danny, if you think about it, sound also can, there's different types of music, like, oh, that music's from the 70s or that music's from the 80s. So that music can take you back to a certain time frame, bringing back nostalgia, like, oh, I remember this from the 1970s or 80s or my first time at Disney World or whatever.
Sure. And to your point, I mean, like, that's a great thing about sound. It's the easiest thing to recreate at home. When you're at home, you can go ahead and put on music from the parks and really you're listening to the exact same music. You feel like you're right back there in your mind. At least if you close your eyes and you can just listen to it, it's not like when you try to do your version of a Lapu Lapu right? Or your version of a Mickey Waffle or whatever it is. I mean, you can get as close as you can. It's never going to taste as good as the one in Disney does. It's, you can watch a video, but it's never going to be as good as standing on Main Street. The sound is going to work no matter where you're at. I mean, when you just boil it down to the sound, it's going to work fine whether you're in your car or whether you're in the parks. It's just the visuals and everything else that add to that sound that make it something more. So that's the other great thing about sound. It's the easiest thing to recreate when you're at home and you're looking for your Disney fix. And that's not an insult to the people who make the candles. But yeah, the music's a little bit more accurate.
Yeah, it's interesting. So not only is, sound kind of in the parks, but one time when I was in Wilderness Lodge, walking around at night with, my wife and my son, we heard the sound of crickets. And we're like, there's no crickets. And then we realized it was coming out of a speaker, just setting that mood that you're in the woods, So it's fascinating how they kind of do those little subtle cues. And, you subconsciously don't even realize they're doing it.
Yeah, I got the same sound coming out of my bedroom, the crickets.
Wow.
That's the sound of desperation right there.
Sound of silence.
Oh man. But no, that's like the same thing that you get like when you walk into the It's Tough to Be a Bug theater. Like you can hear crickets and sounds of bugs all around you as you're walking through. And by the time you're into that lobby, now the bugs are singing the theme to Annie.
Right. And it set the mood,
Yes, it's exactly it. And now you're hearing the bugs humming along, and then all of a sudden, what was just noise before is now song. So yeah, no, it's really clever the way they go ahead and do that.
And they really don't, and really think about this too, is like Disney, since they're not, acquiring all this IP and stuff, I mean, that's going to make it even more important to have sound and music in it, right? Because like you say, you have the Muppets. So, you got to have the Muppets theme music in there. Anybody that goes in there is going to know what they're going to hear. Like, when Avengers, comes through there. I mean, they're going to have all like heroic theme music and whatnot. I mean, that's going to be a huge part of that future attraction as well if we ever get to see it within our lifetime.
Speaking of all the sound stuff, I mean, that's not even in pour a little out for them. It's not even taking into account all the live music they used to have in the park. That you would just stop by and just enjoy, people playing. What was the name of that instrument, Kevin, in the Animal Kingdom? What was that?
Oh, the oh shoot, the little African instrument,
Yes.
the gourd,
Yeah.
kora.
There you go.
Yeah, a
Man,
kora.
we were just
A
sitting
kora.
there and just chilling out and just relaxing and enjoying that. I mean, sound is such an important part. I mean, to have all these live music acts. So Disney knows.
The Centaur. What was that? Remember the time we went?
Yeah, that's
the
what I was
Centaur.
asking.
Yeah.
That's the
absolutely.
Centaur. That's another one. The Gore is what that was. Is
Well, I
that
thought
what
they
it
were
was?
all
Well,
playing it
kora is
together.
when we were sitting at that little not buffet, but the food court thing in Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about Harambe Market? Or?
Yeah, Harambe Market.
And I
thank
was
you,
thinking
yes.
of something different.
Yeah,
then,
no, and we were in India area. We had the sitar guy playing all that too.
Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show there's just so much music.
There's a
There
lot
you
of
go.
music. Yeah, it just goes to your point. Yeah, because we were just humming with it.
It enhances the parades. It enhances the attractions. It enhances everything.
What is you guys' favorite sound in the parks?
Oh, God, that's a great
question.
No, I mean, we won't do it for all the senses, but I think sound's a good one. I know mine. It's actually my ringtone. It's a really weird one, though. So at the end of Living with the Land, there's a distinct sound, and I have it now as my ringtone. It's right at the end of the ride. It's like these drums kick up, and then it's almost like flute music. It's at the end. It's the music in the beginning, but it's distinctly the music at the end. I have that as my ringtone, and I also, at my wedding, when we walked in, me and my wife for the first time at the reception, we used the exit music from Fantasmic. You know, that dun, 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 you know, copyright. Yeah, so those are my two.
Okay, so if we can go to past, I'll give it to Illuminations. That culmination at that crescendo that you hear when it goes dun 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 dun. dun. That yeah.
Yeah,
We'd play
absolutely.
it for y'all, but we don't want to get our video pulled, and so there was that. But I mean, really, when it comes down to it, it's the funeral dirge that you get when you walk right into the haunted mansion. Is when you hear
that's
that
good
as
stuff,
you
yeah.
walk in. And that's just music. I guess I could even go a different way with sound, like the moment my Magic Band presses against it and I hear the ding, so, oh, my Fast Pass is good. Good. I thought it expired. that
I got a
worked.
chance.
Yes. Oh, man. Kev, get one?
Oh man, I've been thinking about it, and my favorite sound used to be when I'd hear the drums of Future Core coming, because I knew there was a performance coming. You hear that in the distance and stuff. But I guess I don't know if it's still there, but one of my favorite sounds is that I'm like on the other side of World Showcase and I hear the Japanese drums, the taiko drums over at Japan. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a
you
good
hear
one.
that, doom, 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 it's like, there they are over there. It's just one of the many layers of sound, I guess, on World Showcase that just makes me happy. I'm just like, oh, I'm really here. This is really, really cool.
I'll give you another one real quick, and I'm sure you'll say the exact same thing. We use the exact same sound when we do any Q topics. The monorail thing.
Yeah. Oh, that is a good sound.
Yeah, that's a really good.
That's a subtle sound. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're taking it away from music, yeah, for sure.
Wow. I like when the masseuse at Center says, "Are you ready?"
Are you ready?
Well, that's a vocal. That's not really
That's a sound. You got to
Yeah.
hear it. It's a
Yes.
sound.
And he sounds exactly like Keith David when he does it.
Yes. And I'm like, yes, I am.
Are you ready?
Hey, come on, Doctor, touch me, eh?
Shiatsu Central.
Shiatsu Central.
Yeah, eucalyptus, baby.
Hot Stone Massage Central.
Yeah,
Can you feel it?
I got $10. I got.
You're tensing, you're tensing. Hope you're satisfied.
Yes, I am. I need a smoke. I gotta say, there's a lot. There's a lot, but I gotta say, all right. Well, for sure, I dig that. Did you call it, Kevin, the sitar music?
Sitar music, yeah.
Sitar music. I like that because that's kind of like otherworldly to me. I do dig that. And if we're not talking like musical themes and stuff like that, because like I attribute most stuff to movies, because like I do like.
That's
dig
fine.
that.
You can go movies.
Yeah.
This is all good.
Okay, because like now I'm thinking though when we went to Disneyland though, and we went and checked out that Marvel area.
Yeah.
And like does that still
Yes,
relates? Because it's
absolutely.
okay. Yeah, look, I ain't gonna lie. I know y'all remember this when we went to the hangar and they were playing like all the just that hero music and then like Captain America.
Oh, when he walked out and gave us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it just it was like, hey Cap, you
Thumbs
got
up.
it. You got it. Like that's a part where it's like, that's the world I was in, and then I was digging it. I loved it. Wishes, I know it's not around anymore. But yeah, see, right? Like
Oh, that little girl.
The little girl.
Oh, man. Yeah.
can't tell it. I wish I'd make it all the more time. It feels so good, but wishes. Oh yeah, I love that. Oh man,
dude. If you have a daughter, if you have another, I know the chances of that is slim to none.
I do have a daughter, but
I know the chance of you having another daughter is slim to none. But if you do, you need to name her Mo Wishes.
Mo Wishes.
Mo Wishes.
You must have really Mo wished to be here. I did not see it coming that I was having a second child.
Didn't see the first one either.
I love you, Mo Wishes. Mo Wishes love you too, Daddy. Yeah, I would say that. All
right, Lee,
Lee, yes.
So for me, like, I don't know why, but the entire Tomorrowland area, the sounds there they just overtake me while I'm there, and it adds with, of course, the people mover swishing around above your head, and you got Astro Orbiter going around, and you got all the little futuristic architecture. It's just the whole thing comes together with that. That's the sounds that you hear in that area. It just takes me to another place.
Yeah, I felt that way about the Future World before they changed the music over there.
Right.
All right, so we did smells and we did sound. So let's talk about the one that you see mostly in the park let's talk about your visuals. Actually, before we do that, I forgot one thing about sound before we transition over, is one interesting fact about Main Street USA is when you're walking down Main Street USA in the morning, the background music is more upbeat and faster. Towards the end of the day, when it's kind of quieter, you're tired, you're kind of dragging your feet, and you're leaving, they play softer Main Street background music. So they change the background music based on the time of the day.
Man, Disney messing with my mind
all the time.
And my money.
I think Main Street USA is only one of the places they do that, but I wanted to mention that real quick before we transition into visuals. So
it's like you're drunk, going home from the club. Like, you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
That's right. Absolutely.
So let's talk about sight. So you're now on Main Street USA, and what are you guys seeing?
Castle.
Elbows and assholes.
Elbows and assholes? Is that what you-
Yes, that's what Low Lily said.
Well, that's Lee elbowing somebody to get to the first ride he wants to get to. But so let's talk about the castle for a second. So the castle is, one of the main draws that draws you down Main Street and draws you into the park. I'm sure you guys heard the term weenie before.
Oh God, yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
every day.
Yeah, it's tough when you look in the mirror. First thing comes to your mind.
Well, I wasn't talking about that kind of weenie. I was talking about the weenies that are in the parks.
Well, you eat hot dogs when you look in the mirror.
Where you eat them slowly while you're looking in the mirror?
Yes. When I eat a hot dog, I eat a hot dog.
You eat a hot dog.
You've seen this body before, haven't you?
Yeah,
that's true.
That is built by Oscar Mayer.
That's it. Proud.
I saw your Mobile come through my neighborhood the other day.
Yeah? It was a good weenie, right?
What neighborhood? You live in a swamp.
That's true. I meant like area. I saw it on the interstate.
It was a nutrient weenie. Is it?
It was that Boudin.
Boudin weenie.
Boudin weenie.
You gotta get in a paddle boat to get to Kevin's house.
So let's talk about Disney weenies for a second. Okay, this is serious now. So the weenie is an architectural concept named by Disney Imagineering to be describing a visual magnet that draws guests from one area in the park to another. So you're on Main Street USA. So the castle is basically the weenie that's drawing you more into the park and to the hub. So let's talk about the castle for a minute, and let's talk about a term that you guys probably heard before about forced perspective.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
So forced perspective is having objects or buildings appear larger than they really are.
I thought it was when Kylo Ren FaceTimed Rey, and they could talk to each other because they had that forced perspective because they could see each other.
That's right.
With his abs.
And his paleness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you can see the weenie.
That's not forced perspective?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
It's forced.
Yeah.
It was totally non-consensual. Yeah.
It's a different kind of forced.
She didn't want it.
I didn't want it.
Nobody wanted
Nobody
it.
wanted it.
No, who wanted that?
I think
No
Raz
one.
wanted it though. She enjoyed that.
Good for her.
Well,
Good for her.
And nothing wrong with that.
But all right, so like forced perspective, I thought you were saying it was like an art term because like perspective in general.
Yes, it is. He is saying. I was making a joke. He was saying the real thing.
No, I know you was making a joke. Yeah. Okay.
All right, class, settle down. Class, settle down.
I was like, all right, because I thought, I knew about Kylo Ren showing first, but I'm with you.
All right, let me tell you about. So, forced perspective is making buildings and objects look taller than they actually are, and Imagineers manipulate perceived distance between objects as well. So, taking Main Street, USA, so they make the buildings look to be 3 stories tall, but in fact, it's not actually 3 stories tall.
Slow down, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah. Wait a minute. How did they do that?
How?
So the first floor of a Disney building on Main Street is built to scale, which is, the normal, whatever a floor or story is, normal height. And then the second floor of the building is only 5/8 the size of the first floor.
Blowing my mind,
That's
man.
crazy.
You're blowing my mind.
Well, yeah. And, but like perspective in general, the further something away is, the smaller it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So,
like quantum physics.
That's it. That's drawing. That's comic book drawing 101. Because all the buildings that surround you on Main Street, right?
Yeah.
They are, they're good size compared to what you're walking. So therefore, right, when there's open space by the castle, so there's nothing to compare it to.
Yeah,
right? The height of the castle and the objects.
Because if like Main Street existed on an atom,
right,
in an alternate dimension,
yes,
and the castle
was on its own plane.
Was in its own dimension.
Yes.
Could you visualize time through space?
If you could fold it with string theory, it's possible.
Wow.
But if you have the Darkhold, anything's possible.
Or the Dark Saber.
It kind of reminds me of like when you're traveling on an interstate and you see that tree way in the distance. Looks like it's barely moving, but the tree's right next to you, like whizzing by your face.
It's like,
yeah. But that tree way in the distance, like, it's barely moving.
Right. Why does it always look like there's a puddle of water in the interstate when you're approaching it, and then it evaporates by the time you get there?
You're dehydrated.
Oh
shit! You're seeing a mirage of water.
I am.
It's a mirage.
Oh.
Right, okay. So the castle then looks bigger than when you walk on it. It's smaller, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
In the forced perspective land of the Wheaties at Disney?
Yeah, 'cause they pulled it from their movie tricks, man. It's just like you're saying with your art stuff. That's one of their movie and musical theater or theater in general tricks. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so the first floor is normal size. The second level is 5/8, and then the third floor is half the size.
Put it this way: it's like when people take pictures and they look like they're holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or if they're holding the Eiffel Tower, or if you remember from Kids in the Hall, I'm squishing your face, I'm squishing your face.
Squishing your head.
It's that perspective. Yeah, I'm squishing your head, I'm squishing your head.
Yes, okay.
It's that kind of thing.
I mean, another great perspective is Kevin just said it is the Eiffel Tower in Epcot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's a good point.
It looks like it's in distance, but it really isn't.
Yeah, it looks like it's like really tall, but you take the Skyway now, or what's that? The thing in the sky. What's that thing called?
Skynet.
Skynet. It's after you.
Yeah, gonna send a T-1000 after you.
But you see the Eiffel Tower, and then you see it in the park, and it looks really tall. But you see it from the Skynet, and it looks a lot smaller than it really perspective. Another version of this is the floating mountains in Pandora.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
Keith, do they use forced perspective on the Swiss Family Robinson stairs? So I don't think those sons of that high. Because it doesn't look so bad, but when I start climbing, I'm like, why did I do this? I'm out of breath. My knees hurt. Ugh.
That's another, forced perspective. Tower Terror is another one. It's the ground level's normal size, and then as the building goes higher, they make smaller windows, so it actually makes it look like it's further away.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something like the road gets higher when you get to a certain part of the attraction, but okay. I didn't know that about the
tell you what, there's one trick that they try to do that never convinces me. And that's at the top of the Be Our Guest restaurant with that little itty bitty.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that
that one does not convince me. And I can tell that sucker's small.
That is the forced perspective in the world.
Nothing's forced. I don't even feel violated.
It looks like a Lego castle. But I got one of those at home. You ain't impressing me.
But that's another example, though, because it's more on a hill, so it makes you think, even though it doesn't fool Kevin, that it's actually smaller than it really, that it's in the distance.
It don't fool anybody. It looks like a restaurant in the rocks and stuff like that, and then up like you're supposed to believe that's just you're entering in the castle through this entrance, which brings you to the restaurant area as part of this one huge castle. It looks like you're entering into like some kind of a canyon,
like a hill, or
like
a hill, yeah.
And it just so happens to be like a little itty bitty castle up there. I'm with Kevin on this one. I don't think that forced perspective works very well.
And I can understand it because they didn't want it to dwarf the actual castle that it's right behind. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, this one doesn't work for me.
No, it never did. It was noticeable immediately. Like I remember seeing the concept art and I'm like, man, they're going to do this. Oh, that's cool. And then you actually see it and it's like, yeah, that is nowhere near close to convincing.
I don't know. That could be something that Eli could explain to us and like at some point, maybe in different shows, like why that one doesn't work, but the rest of them do. I don't know if it's like vantage point of the angle. Maybe we're too close to the thing to notice that it's far enough, or we're too close to notice that it's actually closer than it actually is.
Or we're on the same level with it.
Yeah, it might be it. Yeah, I don't know. There's a with the visual artistic things, there's a lot of things regarding perspectives and angles and all this kind of stuff that will convence you. And
they just did it too small, I think, man. If they would, they needed to do it at a pretty decent size, and they scrimped on it.
Maybe beyond the tracks. So it's like, we were actually doing it. And it looks like it. Yeah. Because I tell you, that one does not fool me.
No.
It's like, that is small. There's no doubt that is small.
Can't fool me.
Definitely compensating.
And so is that little itty bitty trail that's going up to it. But,
terrible. Good,
it's
terrible.
It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, if you look at the castle is the perfect example of forced perspective. I mean, they have those little windows in the towers, but from a distance, it actually makes it look like it's really taller than it really is.
Yeah. You really notice that when you see a character up there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the character does it.
That is a good example of them doing it right, though, because without something right there to give you a sense of scale, your mind is totally blown and you believe what you're seeing.
Yeah, like the Epcot ball. How would you say that one's a good example?
No, because it's just round.
No,
that's
a
round ball. Yeah, it's a big brown ball.
But what's behind it is the American Adventure, like way across the lagoon. That has, I guess, what is it? Reverse or
reverse?
Something?
Yeah, that's reverse forced perspective. So that's actually a 3-story building, but because colonial buildings were only 2 stories tall, they actually scaled it the opposite way. So instead of from the bottom being really tall and then the top level is getting smaller and smaller, they did the opposite. So the windows on the top floors are actually larger than the windows on the ground floor. So it's just, they just kind of mess with your head and your sight just to make you think buildings are a certain way.
They do it with lines where, like, you can never see how long the line is because the line's never in a straight path. It's always curving, and you got to go around a corner, and every single time you around a corner, you're like, well, that's the right. No, it's another line.
That's curvilinear perspective.
I tell you what used to piss me off with that one is, it's now defunct, but the Great Movie Ride.
Okay.
When you go into the theater, I mean, I can understand the idea is that we're all sitting in the theater watching these movies.
Yeah, but you had like what do you call them? The straight back? What do you call
the switchbacks?
Switchbacks. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the switchbacks outside, but when you got in, you're like, okay, I'm going to get it. But you had more switchbacks.
Yeah, it's more switchbacks. Yeah, it's like, oh man, come on. I mean, and they give you like the little hostess at the end for hope.
Yes.
And that's
so
it.
close.
But like all the switchbacks on the way back down, like how many times did you see the theater, like in the coming attractions thing? Like you must have saw that play like 4 times.
I knew every trailer going into this.
Right. By the time you got all the way down there, like a really good, like I remember watching Pirates of the Caribbean when they did this. And like, when they did this, I mean, it's still like that, but the line's never as long, where every turn, I remember as a kid, I'm like, okay, finally, we just got done with the cannons. No, we're in another room. Like, it just never, like, you always thought that you were going to end, where if you could see the line for what it was, you'd be like, yeah, screw that, I ain't getting into that.
Yeah, I mean, they do that for a reason. I mean, if you had the line for Pirates of the Caribbean and it was just a line outside and it went all the way to Main Street, would you get on that? Would you get on that line?
Nope.
No.
But if you go into a building and you don't realize where the end of the line is, of course you're going to get on. Plus, you're in the shade. But
you know what's bad about that too is Space Mountain.
Oh yeah,
you ain't seeing a damn thing until you get in there.
Yep.
And then you don't see the switchbacks until you're like past the little control tower. It's like, dang, how long is this line?
Like we about to populate a whole nation up.
Because you see like a little tail, and that's about it.
Yeah, a few people hanging out.
And at the end of the night, they keep the line outside, so you think, oh, it's a long line, and then you walk right on. So it's just interesting the way Disney does different things. So another kind of visual item besides forced perspective is sight lines.
Okay,
that's a good one. Yeah,
they pulled that from theater. Yeah.
So like you're in Adventureland, and the only hotel you can see from Adventureland, and it was purposely put there, is the Polynesian. And Tomorrowland, you can see the Contemporary. So it all kind of makes sense. That's why when they're always making a new attraction, they always see those sight balloons because they want to see what your sight lines are.
And one of the more famous examples of that is the Tower.
Oh, in Morocco?
Yeah, in Morocco.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tower of Terror is painted
The exact same color scheme
Exact
as
same
Morocco,
color scheme
yeah.
as Morocco is when you see it from behind, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. No, you're correct. Yep.
Absolutely, yeah,
So-
because you can see it, because those two parks are very close, but, you know, at the right angle, you can see, oh, there's the tower.
I do think some of their sight lines got blown a little bit with the new Skyliner.
The Skyliner, look, whenever I would walk up, was it Summit Plummet or Humunga Cowabunga, like in the water parks, when you get in those water slides where you got to climb all the way up to the tippy top of the highest point in the parks, like you could see outward and see like, oh wow, look at that, that's where such and such is, and you can see so many different areas when you get that was one of the draws of if you had the fortitude to climb.
Yeah, right.
You wanted it bad enough.
Yes, if you want it bad enough, you're like, oh my god, I can kind of see the layout of the park from here.
Cowabunga.
Yeah, or but like you'll think of it in reverse. Like so now you stay at that resort and you're like, I want that side where I can see that area. So double what would you call it? Double incentive.
Entendre? No.
Double rainbow.
Double rainbow.
Double rainbow.
Double jeopardy.
Speaking of rainbows, that's a really good segue now.
There you go.
Hey, there you go.
That's a sight line for you.
You're welcome.
So the next thing that Disney does with visual is, have you guys ever heard of color theory?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, went to school for that.
Big time, yes.
Yes, yeah. Yellow, blue make green, and like you put like cool colors, warm colors together.
Contrasting colors
Hues.
stand out.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about the colors.
Yeah, tell us about the
Yeah,
colors.
so color theory is how color influences your emotions and your decisions. And most of the time, it's subliminal as well. So to use a first example, so let's talk about the color red. Red is a color that most people get excited response when they see it. They associate it with love, excitement, and passion. You know, that's why Valentine's Day, you know, the heart's red and all that. So I'm sure you guys, you know, figured that out. But
No. It makes sense that you say that.
No, that's right.
I didn't really think of it.
I mean, but there was Inside Out anger. He was red. I guess he's just really passionate.
Or he's in love. ain't nothing gonna piss you off more than being in love.
Oh, you speak the truth very well, sir.
If I may, this is apropos in the world of Feng Shui.
Please, sir, swing away.
The color red ignites your passion. It inspires activity and opens your heart to the world.
Yes.
And in this fact, Disney World. Walt Disney's World.
I like it.
How about that?
I feel the calmness
Kevin,
of the
can I ask you a
sweetness.
question?
Yes,
when,
sir.
When do you think it'll open its heart to you?
Tonight, killer.
Yeah, now that's passion. Well, red is a primary color, right? Like, I mean, like RGB. If you were like doing like using Photoshop.
What does Ruth Bader Ginsburg had to do with this?
Oh well, you know, she made the way for color theory.
Oh, okay.
She created color theory. She's like 2 centuries years old. God bless her heart. There
She
you
did a
go.
lot.
Yes, but yeah, red is a primary color, just like
Like,
green,
blue and green, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Hex Color's website. Yeah, absolutely.
so red also is an interesting color. Red also makes you hungry.
Get
So,
out of here.
so if you think about it, what color is that? Like basically the colors of Casey's Corner. Red.
Hot dogs are red.
Well, I guess like McDonald's, yeah, they got red in it.
McDonald's has red in it.
Yeah, oh yeah, they made their money off McDonald's though.
No, they did. That was a conspiracy.
That's
Yeah.
it.
When I look at Kung Pao Chicken, that's red too.
Denny's is red and yellow.
A lot of restaurants like if you think about it, the color outside Disney restaurants, they use a lot of red.
But that's just red. Now I think of it, it's red and yellow because like Denny's, McDonald's, Burger King,
Chick-fil-A has red and white,
Yep.
but it's
That's
still red.
another one. Yep.
doesn't Wendy's use red
Wendy's
and yellow?
has red.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Red and yellow.
Hulkamania is
Hulkamania, yeah,
red and
absolutely.
yellow.
Two big
Right.
primary colors.
That's
Red
right.
and yellow.
Kodak.
Kodak when they were around. Yeah, absolutely. Red and yellow.
I'm still caught up on Hulkamania.
It's running wild. It's running wild.
tennis shirt.
Hulkamania.
Lego's another red and yellow.
That's
Ah,
true.
sure,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Red and yellow. That
Shell.
must be something about the Shell. That's
Shell
another
gas
good one.
station,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh wow, yes.
There must be something about those colors. Red and yellow.
They pop out though. They
Yes.
pop out. Those
So
are two bright, vibrant colors.
So red makes you hungry, and what does yellow do to you? Does it calm you?
Yellow basically makes you happy.
Oh, okay.
You know, it evokes like a happy emotion. So if you combine you being hungry with you being happy, there you go.
So would you say it's a sweet emotion?
Sweet emotion. So if I may, in a Feng Shui world,
oh yes,
yellow wakes up any room with like the rising sun.
Oh.
It's the color of sunlight. It is cheerful and uplifting. Yellow vibes always lighten and brighten any home or office.
I knew a girl named Sunshine once. She might be yellow too.
Is she yellow?
Turn this.
That's it. That's it. Say that loud and proud. I was waiting for someone to catch that.
Yeah, I got it.
So red's used in outside a lot of Disney restaurants. You're walking by, you see the red, you see the yellow. You get happy, you get hungry, you want to go inside the restaurant. Of course, you can't because you didn't make your 180-day dining reservation, but that's a whole different story.
Damn.
You get happy, you get hungry, you say your prayer, you take your vitamins, and what you gonna do?
I'm sorry, sir, but we're all full for tonight.
No, that can't be right. The primary colors are never wrong.
But if you call WW Dine, you can find a different reservation.
What color are they?
Or you do quick service. So hey.
Yes.
And one cool thing about red, the color red, as everyone knows, Main Street is red, but that particular shade of red, Disney consulted with Kodak at that time to get the perfect shade of red to where when they took pictures of the families with the castle, that it had the right pop. So it's a very specific shade of red that they use on the actual Main Street concrete.
And that's supposed to be that they're rolling the red carpet out for you, right?
That's true too. That's the theming of it. But once they had the red in mind for that, they had to get the exact right red to make the photos come out right.
One interesting story that I've heard about this kind of thing, and it really didn't have anything to do with Disney, was Wes Craven. You know who Wes Craven is? Yeah.
That name sounds familiar. I don't know.
The horror movie director. He did Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, all that kind of stuff. So he said that he was reading like he was reading an article in like Scientific American Weekly, whatever he was reading this article, and it said that red and green paired together were the two hardest colors for the human mind to perceive, paired one by one, which is why Freddy Krueger wears a red and green sweater. So he purposely chose because of color theory, as we're talking about.
So he's not Christmassy.
No.
There's more than two.
Yes.
I love Carol Theory. What else you got? This is awesome.
Yeah.
So going back, green and blues are common colors on people. So generally you'll find them kind of in like first aid centers, kind of the baby care centers, and more quieter parts of the park where they like just where you can sit on a bench and just like relax. So they're kind of in more of those areas.
Well, if I may interject with some feng shui, is green also invokes, and this is apropos to what Keith just said, green invokes family harmony, the energy to start new projects, so that suggests you're refreshed and you're ready to head back out and conquer the parks, and upward growth. Yes, how about that?
And making it rain.
And making it rain.
Yes.
And money. It's the color of money. In casinos, it works for that too.
And pool halls.
Yeah, so Disney also has another type of green. It's specifically called go-away green. So it's used if Disney wants to hide something. So if they want to hide a utility box or a backstage area, the area will be painted like the certain shade of go-away green. Hence, go away, you're not really seeing this.
It kind of blends in and you don't really notice it. Yeah.
So it's like a darker green, I would imagine.
Actually, I think it's a lighter green, isn't it?
I think it's kind of made to like Kevin said, to blend in with the vegetation in that area. If it's like a utility box or something like that.
Yeah, it's not too green. It's definitely not light, but it's like in between to where it's like you don't middle. Pay attention to it.
Okay.
I want to say there's more white in it than anything
more
else.
More neutral.
Yes, more neutral. It's a more neutral green. It's interesting. And you know what? Next time we go down there, I'm going to do a whole like...
How many areas are neutral?
No, I'm going to just say like, here, I found you a go-away green. Go-away green doesn't work on me. That's what I'm going to do.
Did you notice go-away green?
I'm going to do a whole video series next time we go to the parks.
It's like a hide and seek kind of thing.
That's right. It is. I'll play hide and seek with the Disney Imagineers. I found you. Go-away green ain't working this time.
Right. Count to 10 again, dude.
Gotcha.
Kevin will find the exact shade of green, and then he'll hide in that go-away green.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. Like when it's time to go home at night, when they're like, okay, everyone's got to leave. It's park closing. Just go in the go-away green.
Yeah, I'll just
section.
Go to my go-away green area.
Yes, and then they won't even know.
Yeah, just make sure you wear a go-away green shirt,
right?
To match with it, and then they'll be like, hey, I can't tell if someone's there or not, but I don't want to go by them.
The cast member will be like, how many is in your party? Oh, I can't see.
I don't know. I want to go closer, but something tells me to go away.
It's like that woman in Animal Kingdom, Divine, how she just kind of blended in.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, Divine she blended right into the environment, man.
Divine, she fine.
Damn, she fine.
I tell you, man, go away green. That sounds like some kind of spooky Halloween, like trickster character kind of thing. Go away, green's gonna get you.
Watch out.
It's like swipe or no swiping. Go green, go away.
Eat your green beans, although go away's go get you. Don't do it again. Yeah.
Well, speaking of another color and transitioning in, speaking of spooky, so purple is a color that does creativity and imagination, and obviously one of the Mardi Gras colors. But what's the main featured color in the Haunted Mansion?
Purple, yeah.
That symbolizes, spirituality and ghost and,
I thought like the wallpaper. Like that's the reason why I chose the wallpaper, like the purple.
Well, yeah, because it invokes the spirituality.
Spiritual,
that color. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because that's the only place I remember the purple. Like, because I think of the Haunted Mansion, I think more of the bluish.
Well, think of some of the outfits that their cast members wear. They wear, the women are wearing those. I think there's purple hue in that, like their dress or
There's
whatever.
some green in there too.
I was gonna say, I recognize it more as like a. It could be a purple.
It's like a bluish gray.
I thought it was like I thought it was like a dark. Like I thought it was like a black and a green or whatever. But I mean,
the wallpaper, has purple. Yeah,
some of the wallpaper has purple.
Some of it,
some of it does not. But that's such an interesting question. I'm sorry, I'm going way too far on it because he's like, well, what color do you recommend? I mean, do you recognize for the Haunted Mansion? I'm still sitting here like.
Well, there's a lot.
There's a lot of colors there,
but
it depends on what area of the Haunted Mansion that you're in as well, right?
Right, but if you look behind you there where it says "Tomb Sweet Tomb," that's purple lettering with a black background.
Let me offer the feng shui. Maybe this helps tie this in.
Kev Sui.
I thought it was feng shui. Why do you keep saying feng shui?
I don't know. I don't want to say feng shui, but it's feng shui. Yes.
You're Asian. I'm taking your word for it.
No, that's okay. Cool.
And you got the shirt for it. Your shirt is making me very happy and calm.
But purple indicates to them financial prosperity, self-worth, and manifesting abundance.
I don't get that one. I'm not saying they're wrong,
but they're looking for that 1,000th ghost.
Yeah.
So maybe all these things are meant to pull you in and say, "Come join us."
I'm going to go with Keith's definition of purple. Why don't y'all have a hookah off? And whoever wins the hookah off, like
off?
Yeah, y'all hookah each other, and whoever wins, that gets to define what purple means.
What they got to do to hook each other?
They got a hookah.
Hookah.
Smoke a hookah.
Yeah, no, you got to do a hookah.
Haka. Oh,
is that the haka?
I was about to say, I'm ready to smoke a hookah.
Like in the Polynesia, that's what you mean?
Well, I don't know all this stuff.
No, both of them sounded interesting.
He said hookah. I was about to smoke, man.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Let's make.
I'd be like all like that freaking caterpillar in Cinderella. I'd be like, let's go.
They both sounded like cool challenges.
Hookah.
Yeah.
All day.
You want a hookah, haka? How about a hookah? And then after you do the hookah,
you try to do a haka.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
We're talking.
I'd be like, yeah,
hua,
I don't want to kill anybody.
But it's purple.
This is why it doesn't pay to try to understand other people's culture.
Don't be like that.
I'm sitting here like, the hookah, the hookah. No,
I'm totally down with the hookah off there.
But see, that's why we all here together, because like we just translated what everything came out to be. It came out with a cool concept.
I'm still good with the hookah off. I don't know. I'm stuck on that.
I'm with you.
I'm down with that.
Hookah haka.
That'd be a great vacation.
Like totally on that.
Well, why don't y'all haka each other off and y'all can figure it.
Yeah, just don't haka on me, okay?
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive about that.
Okay, that sounds dirty.
I think, okay.
Oh. Back to
I do, hua, but don't hack on me.
All right, so purple, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's pretty much color theory, and that's pretty much the visuals. So we only have two more senses here. So the next sense you have is taste. So I mean, Disney's the king of that. I mean, they have a whole festival having to deal with food. I mean, there's so many restaurants around Disney World. Disney does psychology with you, where they just give you a whole bunch of eating choices, various restaurants.
Well, I mean, the entire eating experience at Disney is in and of itself a vacation. Like it's one of the key components of your Disney vacation is the dining. I mean, that's why there are so many restaurants, and that's why you have to make your dining reservations 180 days out and things like that.
It's almost like a vacation from your diet. It's like, where else would you eat corn dogs and churros and Rice Krispie treats and funnel cakes
and hunks of meat served at the Polynesian restaurant? I miss Ohana.
Right. When you're at home, you would never eat like this, or else you would die.
There's a reason why they say calories don't count at Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Well, they count. You're walking them off.
Well, yeah, you're walking them off. That's exactly right.
That's it. It's the one place in the world where you're not like focused at all on what you're eating. and you're eating, a lot of times you're eating terrible stuff. I mean, you're eating stuff that's not necessarily...
You mean as far as health-wise, not taste-wise?
Well, yeah, like, turkey legs and Mickey waffles.
No, turkey leg
That's
healthy.
bad?
Yeah. Turkey leg is healthy for you. That's leaner meat.
That is slander, sir.
Yeah. What are you
For
talking
shame.
about? You cannot be on this show talking like that's lean meat.
Yeah, up until the point that they smoke it with a lot of chemicals.
All right, but that's lean chemicals.
Yes. It's not even real ostrich.
Well, damn. All right, Narcoossee's, good taste. And this got healthy food there. There you go.
Cotton candy, popcorn.
Bam! That's what I'm talking about.
Corn is a vegetable.
Yes, and it's good for your healthiness because it's yellow. There you go.
Like, seriously, like, I've come home and, like, there are things that you sample in Disney. Like, if you go to Baseline, they have that blood orange hard cider
Yes.
that you can get over there. And they have, obviously, if you go to Italy and do wine tasting, they have Rosa Regali, which is another well-known one. And all those things are available at your own home. You can find them at most well-stocked alcohol stores. And you try them here, and it's not the same.
No, it's not.
It's never the same. You're like, after a couple sips, you're like, it's too sweet.
I'm starting to wonder if it's like all the combination of senses makes it good there.
Like where you are, what you see, what's
What
going
you
on,
feel,
the experience the day
what
before.
you taste, all of it combined. You're missing because you only have the taste part, and maybe the visual part because you're drinking that thing, but you're missing the other senses that go with it.
You're missing that background music in Italy, or the smells of whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think it completes the whole package. Yeah.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
You're missing out. Like,
That's
it.
A lot of times when you go to Disney, I mean, your time at Disney, your vacation is not complete. Like, if you did not get a reservation at Narcoossee's or at California Grill, or if you know you're not going to be eating at Ohana, it's almost like your vacation feels incomplete. Like, oh, what do you mean I'm not eating at 1900 Park Fair for breakfast?
And that's a good point, Danny, because, Disney not only is one of the few places where they take taste and then they combine it with their character. So you have, character dining.
I'll tell you what, if you want to take it to vacation and stuff, we just talked about colors. You're on Disney property when you see those red and purple signs.
Yes.
Yeah. You've left the real world when you've got on Disney property when you see those signs.
Oh, feng shui master, please educate us. What does the purple and the red mean together? What is it? What are they meant to convey?
Well, I mean, I was trying to research this, and a lot of people they lead to like a definite design element that was from famous designer that we used Mickey as an inspiration for those particular colors.
But if I'm going with what you and Keith both said, it makes you hungry for imagination,
and it makes you energized to be on property.
Okay,
yeah, you got you got the red, so it's like energized because you're and everybody gets excited when you see that purple marquee.
I love those.
Welcome
signs.
to Disney. I love it. I mean,
I want one of them signs in here.
I tell you what, they need to stop have like a little parking area so you can take pictures with the damn sign.
Yeah,
they have signs that say, "Please don't stop, keep going." But people are going to stop and take pictures regardless. So why don't you just make like a litlittle rest area so people can take pictures with the sign? Because that's
good
like
idea, actually.
I mean, that's like, here it is. Here's regardless of where you enter, which is the main entrance or the Western Way or off of I-4, everybody stops to take a picture by those damn signs on the interstate.
If you go like on eBay, like apparently, like every once in a while, somebody will go figure out a way to rip those signs down and sell them on eBay, but you got to go show up to their house because it's a big sign that you can't just like have shipped to you. Now, I would never,
Oh, I hope someone does that, gets caught, so I can add that to a fraudulent tale one day.
No, next time we go, we got to drive. I'll take my one of our pickup trucks.
Okay.
And we'll go visit one of those stores that have a lot of surplus and just buy some from surplus.
Oh, I thought you were talking about breaking in a warehouse.
No, warehouse. I mean, they have stores in and around like Winter Garden or Lakeland that have like surplus Disney stuff which you don't use anymore, which would be great.
Okay, because I was like, that's a bucket list thing. Okay.
Oh, I can bring my trailer with my truck, or we can tie it to your truck. It doesn't matter.
This is very Ocean's 11.
That's what I was thinking. But okay,
I'm okay with that.
Me too. But I was gonna say, as far as like the meals concerned, like I think a good thing to kind of combine the senses that we've had so far that we talked about is like, let's say like character breakfast, 1600.
right? 1900.
1900. Thank you. Right now you get
1900 Park Fair.
There's a 1600, but it's only 300 less.
Less. Yeah. So you
It's
get
not
less
as
of
good.
food, not the same
Right.
colors.
Yeah.
I appreciate
You
that.
get one egg omelet.
they can't work here. Probably still serve you mushroom omelets. Damn them.
That's 1900 with no characters. That's 1600.
That's right.
That's it. I was just saying that you have the combination of the characters coming out. They're in all of these different bright colors, right? Right. And like, think about it. So you're having your exceptional breakfast.
Supercalifragilistic.
Yeah, you're right. And so like you're like, all right, cool. You eat the breakfast, and then bam, like Tigger comes out. Now here's a bright orange tiger,
Orange and white.
and yeah, as soon as you see him, you're like, wow. Now, granted, everybody loves Tigger, but like the colors visually when you see it, you're like boom. Your breakfast is enhanced, right? Just like that. The experience.
You're saying your breakfast tastes better.
No, I was saying the experience.
Wait, let me take it to this. This is devoid of color, right? Maybe one color. Those breakfast buffets are great. But let me tell you this one food item that is awesome. The smells like a waffle. It tastes like a waffle. But the fact that it looks like Mickey makes it all the better. I don't know what it is. It's just like, there's like a mound of Mickey waffles. I'm just like, I gotta eat every freaking one of you guys. It's a freaking waffle.
Yeah.
I can make that in my house. But no, when I'm there and in the buffet and it's mounds of Mickey waffles, I want to eat every one of those.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's it.
And it's only one color, maybe two colors if they burned it a little bit. But still, it doesn't matter. It's a very neutral color, but you see the fact that it's a Mickey face, and you're just like, this is the best waffle ever. And your kids love it. My kids love the Mickey waffle,
And it's so soft. You just cut right into it. Tastes great.
It goes back to taste, though. Like, cause like we have the Mickey. Yes.
We have the mix.
We both have the mix.
We have the
exact
the
mix.
waffle iron.
Waffle iron.
But
it looks like it, but it never tastes the same.
Does it taste the same?
It gets to the point where like you're blaming the syrup. It's like it's got to be the damn syrup. I don't know what syrup they're using.
You think they gave y'all like cheaper batter?
No,
or
but it's
something?
like it's got to be the same damn batter. But for the reason that you're in there and you see it there, makes it that much better.
It just tastes better. It looks better. It feels better. Everything is better.
Smells better even.
It smells better at Disney.
And Lord knows it's been sitting in that damn pan, in that hot water pan. It's a freaking food service
Probably
pan.
with the mushrooms that they put in the omelet.
Like, damn, that was mounds of Mickey waffles are the best damn things ever.
You are like, man, I'm telling you, you do a Mickey waffle haka and no one will stop you ever again.
Or a hookah, whatever.
Oh, hookah, whatever you want. Yeah, hookah or haka.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever tickles your taint.
We're talking about sense with the show. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like the one thing that kills you. You got the smell, the taste, but the freaking look of Mickey is just like those are the best waffles in that park.
It's the complete package.
It's the complete package.
That's
I
the
love
one.
This is a proven scientific fact. Everything tastes better if it's shaped like a Mickey.
That's true.
Mickey bars, Mickey waffles. It is a proven fact that everything tastes better as a Mickey shape. If it's in a Mickey shape, it's going to be better.
How come we haven't gotten a Mickey shaped steak?
Oh, it'd have to be a filet mignon. Right?
I'm good with that. 2 little bacon ears or something,
Oh yeah, no. If I got a Mickey shaped filet mignon, I'd still buy that sucker.
Yeah, that's they welcome.
I'd eat the ears first. I'd eat
Yeah,
the body,
put some sauce on the side, a little smiley face right
a
there.
little au jus.
2 ears?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I got a question about
Copyright
that.
Magic Our Way. Sorry.
I got a question about. Okay, so like Ohana breakfast when we did that, right? That was not a. It wasn't a terrible breakfast, but it wasn't like. Ooh,
it wasn't 1900 Park Fair.
Right. But didn't they have waffles, Mickey waffles in there? Or
I believe they did. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
One last thing on taste.
All right, go ahead.
There are certain tastes that when you go to Disney, you crave them and you can't get them anywhere else.
Like a turkey leg.
Like the turkey leg, like the
cronut.
The cronut, the carrot cake cookie. Yeah, there are just certain things where you wait an entire year. That for me was a smoky portobello mushroom soup until they did away with
God, I wish I could.
That was good.
You could only have it that one place. And so, yeah, when there are certain items that you wait for, like, look, we can all look up a recipe and make a magical star or a lapu lapu or whatever the hell, but it just never tastes the same as when you taste it on Disney property.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. All right, Keith, where are we at, man?
All right. So the last sense we have is touch or tactile. So a couple good examples with this is when you go to Animal Kingdom and you do Tough to Be a Bug, and at the end of the movie, they've announced the bugs are going to leave first, and then you feel like you're getting poked in your butt.
That is my favorite part of the show.
Catches me every time. And we did a show, right? Danny, about like how that happens.
We did a whole show on what Kevin likes touching his butt.
Yes, and it was a good show. You'll love it.
Well, it's the male G spot. It's great.
Yeah. It's nice to open yourself up to a bug or anybody at that point.
I remember the first time I got on the thing, I was like, oh, really? Disney, we're going here? Okay. I was like, family, we're sitting here for a second.
Yeah. Don't let Danny go from here. No, you know what's funny is like on that that attraction, like you always know somebody that hasn't been, like that's one of the few attractions where you know
the best.
Someone has not been on that before.
God,
because when it happens, you always say,
You're setting them up. You're like, wait, no, we got to let the bugs go. We got to let the bugs go. And then you're like, oh,
even if it's someone you don't know, someone is telling that person the same thing you just said, and you hear that every time.
And you know what? One of those things is along the same lines is the mouse thing that used to be in Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Yep, exactly.
Because the funniest part is that, you hear it, it's like, oh, the mouse got released into the audience, and then you hear the growing sounds of people going, oh, ah, ah, and then it gets to your seat, and everybody's like, and if you're with a person that's never been here, they're like, oh my God, what the hell is that? They're messing with your legs. It's perfect.
Oh, no, it's absolutely perfect. I waited till my kid was 9 and brought her on there. I'm like, she's old enough to handle it, and freaked the hell out. Not only when, that's one thing when the maggots roll past underneath your butt, but when the hornets poke you in the back.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that's right.
That's another one. Or when Chili's throwing those poison quills and they're boom whizzing past you, and you feel the sensation of the wind on your face. Kind of like we were talking about that before. Like if you go in Avatar and you're soaring through and you feel the mist hitting your face as you're going, and it just helps sell the idea that you're flying over a large body of water.
Yeah, Danny, that's a great point, because it's not because they're blowing air. It's not a smelling thing. It's a sensory thing that you're feeling with your body and your skin cells and everything else, where things are whizzing by you.
And you're not seeing it.
You're not seeing it, but you're feeling it. It's kind of like in Disneyland, the Indiana Jones, when you go through that little tunnel and you see this, you know that scene where the spears are going through. Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you feel you don't see it, but you feel the wind. But you still duck. So
Right.
it's like, oh, right. But that's the exact same thing. That's
your
exactly
mind would swear something whizzed past you, and it's just a blast of air to the face, and that goes back to touch.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Yeah.
They look, Galaxy's Edge, right? You go there, you're on the Millennium Falcon, you're screaming at everybody, hey, dodge this, dodge that, because everything is shaking.
Oh, and the thing is moving. The ship is moving.
Yeah.
Star Tours, all those simulator rides. Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Making you crazy.
Yeah, another interesting one is back in the day, Stitch's Great Escape, where you have that harness that goes over on your shoulder, so it makes you think you're like psychologically trapped in that specific space.
That's a perfect example, and another good example is Dinosaur and Indiana Jones Spectacular. You guys know this is not a gas-powered engine, but you swear there's a gas-powered engine in that thing because they have it rumbling. You feel the vibration of the engine and everything else, but it's just an electric ride vehicle. But no, they have you convinced with you're sitting in the seat and it feels like an engine's rumbling, or you're doing whatever. And yeah, all of that. It's totally tactile, totally touch. Sorry, not taste.
The experience tastes good.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, another good one, which kind of ties in a lot of things together, is the Frontierland Shooting Gallery.
Yes.
Wow.
Dude, that one does all of it, man. It's great.
Good one, Keith.
So there you have the feel of actually when you shoot the gun, and then you have the sound. You actually have the shot of the pistol or rifle, and then you have the visual because you actually have the whatever you're shooting fall down or knock down or
it
whatever.
reacts to what you're shooting.
The only thing that would make it perfect if they would add like the smell of gunpowder.
Yes.
And then you got a completely immersive attraction. And you guys, if you listen to the show, I love the shooting gallery. I always go there.
I'm with you too.
But if they added that one sense, it'd be like, this is perfect.
Oh, you remember when you used to have those cap guns as a kid? And that thing would pop, and you could smell the little...
Smell and hear and everything else. And maybe even spark if you saw like a spark. On your sight, if you saw the spark. Yeah.
Add that, and it's perfect.
It's a great attraction.
Now, I would say one of my personal favorite stories of touch, which is a classic for me all the time. Is Jasmine.
Oh.
All the time. That's the one thing. Never
when
forget.
you get to hug the character.
That's it. Never forget the fact that you can go up to your favorite cast member and give them a hug, and you can talk to them, you can see them. And I don't know if you want to smell them, depending on where you're at, but you can interact with a character there. Yes, I mean, Aladdin didn't want me to fly the carpet, but I gave me a good hug on the Jasmine. I surely did.
You turn that carpet into a landing strip.
That's right. I said that's my right touch. I don't need a genie to grant this wish. What's happening, baby?
No, that's funny you say that because kids love that. You know that.
Me taking pictures with Jasmine?
No, well, I mean, yes.
I was like, how much we selling these pictures for, Kevin?
$99.99.
Missing out.
3 subscriptions of $99.99.
This needs to go to ivorycomics.com.
That's right. No, but kids love that because you can see the characters. You're combining sight, touch, all those things, senses, all the senses because you're talking with them, even hearing. And it's like I'm talking with this Disney character.
And that adds to believability. I mean, I remember when I no joke, when we went a long time ago and I took Hannah when she was young, and Hannah had a little booklet. And we were like, okay, we're going to find all the characters you want. They autograph your little booklet and everything like that. And it was, you already had an experience, but it was like, you had like, how would you put it? A sub experience. Yeah. It was like a private thing. It was like, we're going to find these characters and, take pictures with them, hug them. And, we met Chip and Dale. They signed stuff. And, that was a good, I still have the book. And that's one of those things that you cannot replace. Another thing might be for touch. Would you call Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
no, that's a good one. Absolutely,
absolutely. Transform your kid to a character so that way you can embarrass them when they turn 20, when their boyfriend won't come by the house. You can keep that. You will.
Hey, look, back up to the autograph thing. I tell you what, when you go home and you feel the back of the page and you know that character wrote that. I mean, for kids, me too, maybe. But for kids, that's definitely like a tactile thing. That's just like, wow, this character actually signed my book.
It happened.
It's real. There's an indentation in this piece of paper and there's ink. And so there's a visual, there's a tactile, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's an actual souvenir of your time at Disney.
Absolutely.
This happened.
No, it's all, there's a lot with tactile.
There's a lot.
It's just so much.
Well, I'll give you one of my favorites. For me to close it out, I should say. Your Mickey band. Touching Mickey to Mickey.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's a good one. Yep.
The satisfaction that comes when you see that green light and you get to enter the park.
Yeah, you get visual, you get sound, you get feeling. Yes.
Yep.
Your room, you touch it, boom, your room door opens, you get your fast pass, whatever. And that satisfaction touching Mickey to Mickey and seeing that thing swirl and flash green, there is just something about that. You're like, yeah, I've been approved. I've been chosen. I can go in.
Because that cast member is looking at you, too. Right. When you first walk in, you touch the thing, and they're like,
you ain't got no fast pass.
You're like, no, I got it. And then the day's blue, and they're like, and it's like the weirdest game show ever. And then it finally poof, she's like, oh, boy. I didn't think you were going to make it, but you did.
I mean, shoot, the biometrics, right? That even in itself, when they used to do that, but it was great.
That's awesome.
No, the tactile is great. The touch part is great.
And we haven't even talked about the streets. When you walking on a different level of the streets, where you go from cobblestone to,
Oh, yeah.
Nice gravel.
That's a lot of that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's so much. I mean, even like Kilimanjaro safaris, you have the rickiness of the truck, but it's not really that rough of a road, but they make it so. And you also see fake ruts, so it looks like people are going through mud. The trucks are going through mud, even though your truck is really not going through that mud. So you have all those different combined elements and the smell of mud to make you feel like you're really on a safari, on an off-road, on a muddy road. Even though it's like a track that all these trucks have been on before, but all of that combined is just amazing. Absolutely. Kilimanjaro Safaris is rough. It doesn't have to be that rough, but they make it that rough so it makes you feel like you're actually in the back country of Animal Kingdom and you're on a safari.
And like we touched upon, Kevin likes experiences that involve your butt.
Yeah, that'll work.
If you could poke him in the butt, if you could vibrate his butt, if you could bump his butt, he loves those experiences.
With a Mickey waffle.
I do.
You got to have Mickey waffle.
Oh, man, I got all the senses.
Yeah.
And if I could shoot a gun, eat a Mickey waffle, and have my butt played with, is great.
Oh, we're going to have to pull you out of wherever you are to come host the show.
No, y'all just have to go play, and I'm just going to stay here. That's my senses.
That's what's happened.
That's right. What it is, because it loosens him up, and then he finds the bathrooms, and we do a show about the best bathrooms.
But he's got go away green, so you got to...
but while I'm in the bathroom, then you can talk about your smoking issues or whatever else, and that's it.
And I'm with that.
Yes. I'll give you time to resolve that.
This dude's got smoking issues because he cannot talk on the microphone without breathing, sounding like deep throat over here.
Yeah, it's rough. And then if I'm somewhere I'm too stressed, I need to smoke. So, it's rough.
Tactile in the Disney parks, that is awesome. You're absolutely right.
No, but I can hear you, Lord Vader. Probably need to cut down a little bit. Well, that's it. Is that all 5?
that all 5 senses?
That's
we did the
all
five?
senses.
Man, so I mean, it almost makes me want to go into other aspects of this thing where they mess with my mind and they mess with the whole emotion thing. But we might have to save that for another show, right?
Yep. I think the senses is way, we oversensed everyone from this episode, so yeah.
And that's not even touching on like the 3 or 4 things that we left off.
Yeah, but we'll have to do that for another show because it's just so great.
I mean, thank you, though, Professor X, for allowing us to participate in the Danger Room, because we are all mutants, and I think we distributed some good X power here today.
Well, I have to say, you guys passed your pop quiz very well, so...
Yeah.
And I have to say, class dismissed.
No, but I've got questions. I need to learn more. Teacher, can you teach me?
Next simulation, we fight Sentinels.
Or this is a tease for another show. Is that what we're teasing?
it's gonna
What are we
be-
teasing?
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Well, look, man, I definitely look forward to talking about our emotions, how they mess with our emotions, the psychology behind everything that they do.
Oh man,
Because-
is that going to be the next show? How about how anger, envy, sadness, and what's in the box?
What's in the box?
How they use those against us at Disney? Oh man,
No, I think, Keith, if I'm correct, you got the environment thing, you have the emotions thing. What do you
Could
got?
always be in another episode down the line. I need to record my St. Patrick's Day episode first, and somewhere down the line, definitely.
So, Keith, thank you, man, so much. This was awesome.
No problem. And I'm glad it worked out a lot better than I thought. So yeah.
Yeah, we got it going and we're good. And we're looking forward to talking about those other aspects of the emotions, the psychology, all that stuff, because there's so much good stuff with this. And we'll revisit it on another show with another class.
Yes.
With Professor X.
Yes.
First class X-Men.
Another group of younglings.
Yes, another group of younglings. So, guys, look, man, if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions of how the 5 senses have affected you, we'll tell you how to get in touch with us in just a little bit. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that sensual experience through the Disney parks.
Sensual chocolate.
Sensual chocolate,
Yeah,
yes.
everybody. Sensual chocolate.
That professor good.
Yeah.
MagicOurWay.com is the way to go if you want to get all those senses up in yourself. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. And if you want to share your opinions, you can get in touch with us through the following ways.
I believe the children are our future.
Yeah.
Look, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com. Oh,
Let him lead the
look,
way.
it doesn't matter.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
That's right.
Give
Give
them
them
a
a sense
of pride.
Pride.
Yeah.
And look, leave us a voicemail via SpeakPipe widget on our homepage. If you want to call or send us a text message, but man, look, we're progressive. You can send us a text message.
Text this.
Yes.
Text us at 1-815-MO-WEEKEND. That is 1-815
Mo Weekend.
669-4226.
Text us.
Text us.
We sound like a Roman emperor. I'm Texas.
Texas.
Texas. Thumbs down.
Texas. Empress,
Yes.
Texas. Look, man, yeah, you can send us a text message and we'll respond. We may not do it immediately, but I guarantee you we will respond to your text. And we hope to hear from you guys. We love texting with our listeners. We have a lot of listeners that do text with us. So don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
And look, in that whole thing that we said before about, the children of the future and stuff, that's just a reminder to you to go check out Coming to America 2 or just Coming to America. The sequel, which will be released on March the 5th.
Yes.
Yes. So that
Oh
that
my
is-
God.
That's happening a week from now. That is
Amazon
happening.
Prime.
Beautiful on Amazon Prime.
It will
It's
be.
awesome.
Beautiful and terrible.
Yes. Beautiful and terrible.
You paying child support? You
There's a
stupid.
God somewhere.
Yes. I'm
Came
looking
down
forward
from
to it.
high.
I kill again.
That's right.
Off the island.
All right, guys. Well, look, man, we have a couple guys who do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli that does things with comics.
Hey, Rob Liefeld here. Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, Domino, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, all of it. You guys, what is up?
What is up?
Eli Ivory. What a great name. Eli Ivory, comic guru. I'm here to talk about you. I am here to say, check out ivorycomics.com. That's right, you. Check out ivorycomics.com. ivorycomics.com. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. You're missing out. The Savages comic cannot be beat, cannot be surpassed. You need to check it out, experience it for yourself, and you know the story. It's all about the glory. Congrats to you and all the magic that you're making with your Ivory Comics, Eli Ivory, comic book guru. Check out ivorycomics.com, comic book guru, Eli Ivory, the whole package. Deadpool said to. Do it. ivorycomics.com right now. Liefeld out.
So you heard what Rob said. You can always check out the Ivory Comics website. And, of course, there's a link to this podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also find me on Facebook.com. So that's Eli H. Ivory. And as long as you're a real person, you're welcome. But if you're a bot, no thank you. I'm totally good. I can't handle no more robots in my life right now. Or expensive people.
How many robots you got in your
There's
life?
a lot of robots. There's not even enough ad blocking.
Would you say you have a plethora of robots?
Yes.
A plethora? Okay.
It's like mucho binario of the robots. Got to block them all away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that word means, but okay.
It's that deep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's that. It's an invasion. Trying to stop it.
Of the body snatchers.
It is.
You like the Millennium Man, huh?
Better than Gemini, man.
There you go.
That's it. You can also see on Facebook Project Geisha page, so facebook.com/Project Geisha. Instagram, I'm there looking at Lee's recipes and posting up hearts and likes and things there. So EIRE504, you can find me there. And of course on Twitter, you can find me at Hancock10166. So if you appreciate the madness, then you're just bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much, and watch out for Skynet.
And if you want to book a vacation so you can go visit and check out all these awesome things that the Disney puts you through, you can do so through Lee of Magical Moments Vacations. Lee, tell them how to do this.
Real easy. Just give me a call at 832-431-1621. That's 832-HUKA-HAKA. 832-HUKAHOKA. Email me at lee@magicourway.com. On Facebook, that's com/Lastovica Travel. That's LASTOVICA Travel. On Instagram, you can find me at You Got a Friend in Lee Travel. And if you do any of that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with no.
Go away, Agreedavica.
And of course, I want to thank Professor X. Man, look, thank you for coming on the show.
Sir.
We always love listening and learning and hearing all the different stuff because it just triggers our memories to a better days gone past.
Well, thank you very much. And if you want to find me, you can find me planning my next holiday episode. I'm planning a St. Patrick's Day episode. Nah, just kidding, guys. Getting tired of these holiday episodes, so I'm talking about different topics.
Oh, I was looking forward to the history of St. I thought we were going to talk about the Shamrock Shake and all that.
Yeah.
Well, if you want me to, just let me know.
Yeah, please. Anything I can learn about the Grimace, I think would help me in life.
We all need to learn about the Grimace.
Yes, the Grimace is out there, and he's real.
That's it.
Well, Keith, is there any way the Mohicans can find you? I know you're in the group and Facebook and stuff, and you chime in every now and then, but...
they can find me on Twitter at Disney Thanksgiving.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Great. Well, thank you once again. We definitely appreciate it. And look, if you want to support us, there's so many ways to do so, and you can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to take a second and thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. Look, all opinions on this show are always welcome to the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, Mohicans, ladies and gentlemen, we say Kwaherini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
I have every intention of eating those bananas for breakfast, but I still somehow end up with tacos.
Weenies.
You know what, Eli?
What?
It doesn't matter where I am, but I always have Mad Hatter Radio with me.
That's it. It's all about the Mad Hatter Radio heart.
It is, man. I have it always with me. When I'm at work, Mad Hatter Radio.
That's it. It's
when I'm at home, Mad Hatter Radio. When I'm in the John, Mad Hatter Radio.
That's right. Fits you like a glove because it's like a hat.
I'm a madman in there.
Because it's Mad Hatter Radio.
That's right.